We all have different opinions on movies. Sometimes 80% agree or they like it and 20 don't. Other times so 20 may agree and 80 will not. That is basically bound to happen. In this video, I'll talk about the negative comments or some comments I've received on Citation, and I'll also explain it as to my angle of understanding how I agree that the movie was brought out that way. My name is Lydia, and if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe for more videos and more updates. Let's get started. So my first part was I received a negative comment that, I won't say negative comment, I received the comments that Professor kept on showing Morimi the signs of interest, and she saw it. It was noticeable, but she kept on pushing towards it. She didn't resist it. She kept on pushing towards it. And this part is something that is very natural in our basic lives. Sometimes when we are doing some things, we know that this is not going to end well, or we know that this that I'm trying to do is not the right thing, like in this approach, but we go on and take the risk because we sometimes have a positive mindset towards it. So we take the risk, and when we take the risk, sometimes it becomes too much for us that we can't handle, and we go back and say that I knew this will happen. Like we do a flashback and remember that there was a time that I thought that I was going through the wrong direction and I never listened to my instinct. So Professor and Morimi's relationship, that Morimi kept on pushing forward despite the fact that she saw the signs and the negativity of the professor, she kept on pushing forward. So my point is that this is a natural phenomenon, like it's a natural lifestyle. We know that this that we are doing or something we are going for could be a 50-50 ratio, both either positive or negative. Sometimes the negativity will be more than the positive, but we still take the risk. So let's understand Morimi that she took the risk of still being close to Professor because she wanted to achieve her aim. You know, some intelligent people, they really want to learn more, and if they are the best people in their class, they don't feel the challenge, so they want to go into a higher rank, like a teacher, a lecturer. So Morimi getting close to the professor, we should understand that it's also an attitude of students. Sometimes intelligent students, they want to learn more from their lectures because they feel that they know better than them, and they are even the best people compared to their classmates, like their other colleagues. So let's understand Morimi that her attitude towards the professor is a natural phenomenon. Let's understand that this script writing on this part is a natural thing that most of us, or let me say all of us, we go through. We take the risk knowing that this will end up negatively. My second point is that we should also note that Morimi is still a very young youth, the youngest in her class. She is 21 years, and even her friend is 40 years. Just see the age difference. 21 years and 40 years. So we should understand that we shouldn't expect Morimi to be a perfect individual. She's a student like everyone, and even the youngest, to be precise. There are people who are academically very bright. They are very, very intelligent academically, but they find it difficult controlling their emotional instability. So Morimi is finding out that Professor is showing some bad attitude. Her intelligence is with books and learning and studies. Her intelligence is not to be a psychic to know what Professor is thinking. Please, I hope you get me. So Morimi, one, she is a very young lady, and two, she's academically good and not a psychic, not someone who will know what Professor is up to eventually. So please, let's get this one also, that Morimi is a very young lady who this is the first time she's experiencing such an abuse or such an affection. So let's understand that she was keeping up with the professor despite the fact that she saw the negative signs the professor was exhibiting towards her. There was also another comment that how realistic is it for a student to drive a lecturer to his, let me say, bungalow or his house. It's not natural to do that. Why? The first time you meet a lecturer, you drive him all the way from the school to his house. And this is something very, very natural. Like when you go to tertiary schools, like tertiary institutions, the campus and all that, I see this to be very realistic. Okay, so a lecturer comes and his citation was given out that he is from the UN and a lot of good credentials, and you see him outside with a manual vehicle. It's natural to say, you can't drive a manual car, then let me help you. You see, it's just a way of like exchanging pleasantries. So let me help you. So Morimi was just being a neutral person. Like she doesn't have any negativity towards the professor. Well, let me help you. Helps the professor from their campus to his house. This is a very natural incident. Some students can really get attached to their lecturers. Yes, it really happens. Students can really get connected to their lecturers. And I don't see anything wrong with a student offering to teach a lecturer how to drive a manual car. Morimi in the film has this attitude of wanting to teach, wanting to be the right person and all that. So if she happened to be at the spot where professor was complaining of having a manual car, it's natural for Morimi to extend a helping hand to a professor in need. I hope you understand me, whoever. Yeah. Another point was that Morimi wasn't listening to her boyfriend's advice, and the scene that she wasn't listening to her boyfriend was so not real, and she even had to lie that it was the boyfriend that broke up with her instead of the other way around. Okay, so now we see Morimi as a very intelligent person. Let's picture Morimi as a very intelligent person, and in the film she looked rich. She looked like someone who is quite independent. So she starts dating a fine looking man, and then she decides to take a trip to a place, Senegal. Morimi is such a person who wants to explore, especially if it's associated to learning, to knowing new things, to finding out new inventories and all that. And then Morimi goes to tell her boyfriend that I want to go on a trip to this place. Despite the fact that professor has been showing some signs, she's just an innocent person. She's only intelligent. She's academically brilliant. Like she's academically very good. So if she goes to tell you that I'm going on an educational trip and you tell me not to go, it's natural for a lady to say, no, I'm not listening to your advice. It's like you don't want what's good for my future. Like this is something that happens in our daily lives when a lady wants something and then the guy is opposing to it, especially when the thing the lady wants is something that is linking to her career or her future. The lady will either have to end the relationship, especially a lady who is very ambitious. She'll either have to end the relationship and do what she wants to do. And if you're not the one taking care of the lady, then it's a no area for you, the guy. She'll end the relationship instantly. So Morimi not listening to her boyfriend is a natural thing that happens. Sometimes even we don't listen to our parents. What is you listening to? You not listening to your boyfriend? Is even just too little. Yeah. So Morimi not listening to her boyfriend is a natural thing that happens in life. Yes, especially when you want to take a personal decision for your career, for your future, and then someone opposes to it. Yes, you have to stand firm in your decisions. So Morimi at that time is also something natural and real in life. During the witness testification, like testifying, that aspects that Iniedo was blatantly telling lies. Some of us are asking why Iniedo should lie because there was no grudge between she and Morimi. Now, the reason why Iniedo lied and the reason why the lie she lied is natural is because Iniedo has feelings for the professor. So if Morimi wants to bring down the professor, is going to go against Iniedo's interests. If Morimi succeeds in bringing down the professor, it means the professor will be expelled from the school and Iniedo won't have a way. So she would have to tell lies. Yes, friends betray friends. It happens in our daily lives. Friends betray friends because of relationships. They can leave their best friends because of a boyfriend. Like, that's kind of lifestyle. It's natural. Like, it exists in our daily lives. It exists in our daily lives. I agree that sometimes we all don't have to agree to one particular thing, no matter how good it is. We all don't share the same agreements with it. It's fine. I'm just making my own observations from the perspective as to where or how I watched or understood the film. Now, my last part was she staying longer than she should at the Easter party. So a professor calls his students, invites his students to his house for a party. From the invitations the professor was doing, it was obvious that he wanted to have an alone time with Morimi, especially with the trip to Dakar, Senegal, and then the get together in his house. He just wanted to have an alone time with Morimi. When Morimi complained of stomach pains, the part she complained of stomach pains could just be a mere coincidence. It happens in our daily lives. Sometimes bad things happen at the wrong time. Be like, no, my stomach don't have to hurt me at this moment. And then Morimi comes out of the restroom and then she takes her bag to leave, and Professor says that, oh, why don't you help me clean the place? Since you are already late, why don't you give a helping hand? And Professor tells her what she needs to hear. I've done you this, I've given you the fire, the grace you need, you've gotten the passes to the UN. And Morimi is excited. This is what she's been working for, what she's been studying for. If Morimi was someone who doesn't learn and she's hearing all this, she will be surprised. But here Morimi is someone who learns. She's a learned person, and hearing all this what the professor was promising her, it was not something natural. So it's natural to be excited and hug a professor. You forget that he has been attempting to kiss you and all that. And from the attempted kiss, Professor apologized. And Morimi is very, very innocent. She's a very innocent but intelligent student. And Professor is an experienced psychopath. He's a psychopath. He's manipulative, he's cunning, he's smart, he's clever, he's wicked. He mixes all these feelings together. And he's been doing it for as long as possible. So he knows all the tricks, all the loopholes, he knows all the ways possible to get to a woman. So he starts by holding Morimi's hair and using his usual ways to lure a young, growing woman. So we should see that, or we should know that Professor, this is his attitude from scratch. And as later women came out to testify that they've been victims of that man, we should know that it's something he does repeatedly. It's his habit, it's his nature. So we shouldn't expect Morimi to be a perfect person, to act like I don't know how to say it, to act like the perfect superhuman in it. The only superhuman aspect of Morimi is she's able to learn. She's educated. She learns. She reads. She has that intellect, but not to reach a point of being extraordinary smart or a clairvoyant to know the future of what their relationship or what her relationship with the professor might end. So these were the observations or what I heard about the film. and people brought my attention to it. Some of my audience brought my attention to it, and I had to review it because sometimes someone needs just a small bit of clarification in order to view the movie in a different perspective. That's what I think about Citation the Movie. It's on Netflix, and it was produced by Kunle Afolayan, introducing Temi Otedola. Ajetianan is also in the film, and also Iniedo. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share. I'm Lydia once again. Till next time, bye.